Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Nidhi Taneja. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 11th of November. India-Japan signed landmark civil nuclear deal. Taliban attacks German consulate in Afghanistan, 4 killed. And now for all the details. India and Japan on Friday signed the historic civil nuclear deal which will give India access to nuclear technology. This came as Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 3-day visit to Japan to bolster bilateral ties.
Visiting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe in Tokyo. The two leaders led a delegation-level meeting at Kantei, the Japanese Prime Minister's office, marking the start of the 11th India-Japan Annual Summit. The highlight of the meeting was the exchange of the landmark civil nuclear agreement. India and Japan last December had broadly agreed on cooperation in the peaceful use of nuclear energy, but stopped short of signing the deal, citing outstanding technical and legal differences.
Today's signing of the agreement for cooperation in peaceful use of nuclear energy marks a historic step in our engagement to build a clean energy partnership. Our cooperation in this field will help us combat the challenge of climate change.
Prime Minister Modi, who is visiting Japan for the second time in 2 years after assuming office, also made a strong pitch for Japanese investment in India as he met with top business leaders in Tokyo. Modi's Japan visit is aimed at giving fillip to the relations between the two countries, which are trying to counterbalance rise of China as the regional power. As a part of his 3-day tour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also called on Japanese Emperor Akihito as the two leaders deliberated upon the future of Asia.
War torn Afghanistan has once again been hit by militant attack. This time the target was German consulate in northern Balkh province. At least 4 people were killed and over 100 others wounded in a suicide attack.
At least 4 civilians were killed and over a dozen others injured after a Taliban suicide bomber rammed a car packed with explosives into a wall. The attack occurred around the German consulate in the northern Afghan city of Mazar-i-Sharif late on Thursday. Afghan municipality workers on Friday were seen cleaning the area. The destroyed car from the scene of attack was also lifted from the area.
شخص انتحار کننده یک اراده واسطه باربری مملو از مواد انفجاری خود این در نمی ساحه که نزدیکی کنسولگری کشور دوست آلمان در مزار شریف است میرسانه و انفجار میده که از اثر انفجار خساره وارد کرده به دیوار و ساختمان خود کنسولگری. لله الحمد به دیپلمات‌ها و مهمانای ما و اعضای کنسولگری جزئی ترین آسیب نرسیده. ما شب دفعتاً خود فوراً خود با قطعه اسپیشال فورس آیساف خود در ساحه رساندیم، در داخل کنسولگری داخل شدیم، تماما دیپلمات‌ها را صحیح و سالم از اینجا تخلیه کردیم و کمپ مرمول انتقال دادیم.
بسیار انفجار بسیار شدید بسیار زیاد، شیشه ها مگه شکست، زخمی کارشم از توسط شیشه، دکان تاریک شد، برقم وقت رفت، دود خاک باد و سیاه قسم بارد بویک خاک بویک.
The Taliban militant group claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it was in retaliation for NATO airstrikes against a village near the northern Kunduz city last week, in which more than 30 people were killed. The heavily protected consulate is located in a large building close to the Blue Mosque in the center of Mazar-i-Sharif, where the Indian consulate was also attacked by militant gunmen earlier this year.
US Ambassador to India Richard Rahul Verma on Friday said Bilateral strategic and economic ties between India and United States will continue to soar under United States' new President-elect Donald Trump. Republican businessman Trump was elected the 45th president of the country after defeating Democrat Hillary Clinton. Verma said there will be renewed convergence on issues related to counter-terrorism and political issues when US undergoes a regime change.
Discussion with featuring an excellent, don't need an introduction, but what I'm going to do in the next half an hour.
And in a time of deep political polarization in our country, enhancing the U.S.-India partnership is something that is refreshingly unifying across the political divide. And as you look at the gains over the years in the relationship, particularly over the past 20 years, those have occurred in Republican and Democratic administrations.
Indians on Friday thronged ATMs which opened after a two-day break post scrapping of higher denomination notes across the country. People waited in queues for long hours to get the new currency notes.
A day after serpentine queues were witnessed outside banks across the country, massive crowds gathered outside automated teller machines or ATMs to get lower denomination currency for their daily basic needs. People were seen rushing to ATMs and waiting in long queues since early hours. The jump in the footfall in the ATMs was the result of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement to demonetize 500 and 1000 rupee notes from circulation in a bid to battle corruption. While the move to curb black money by the government was appreciated by the people, some expressed frustration for waiting in long queues to get their hands on the new notes.
സൗകര്യമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം നടന്നു വരികയാണ്. എനിക്ക് ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടും ഉണ്ടായില്ല. കാശ് എടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടും ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല.
कैश रिटर्न नहीं हो रहा है. कितना दिक्कत मिल रहा है? दिक्कत तो बहुत हो रहा है, जैसे डेली लाइफ का दिक्कत हो रहा है, कुछ बाजार नहीं कर पा रहे, सब्जी वगैरह बहुत कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे. वहाँ तो आपका कार्ड नहीं चलता है ना, वहाँ तो कैश ही ट्रांजेक्शन होता है, वही सब दिक्कत आ रहा है.
Daily lives of millions of Indians who live in the cash economy that is estimated to account for a fifth of India's $2 trillion gross domestic product or GDP and who have low confidence in banks or plastic cards have been disrupted due to the move. The government has set the deadline up to December 30 for people to deposit the defunct notes in their bank accounts.
India is a large market for consumer goods and the country hosts several multinational brands that produce items of basic needs. Trying to match pace with a host of established companies is a homegrown brand of India run by a yoga guru.
India's renowned yoga guru Baba Ramdev has fans all over the world for his fitness mantra and physical exercise. His company, which deals with health and wellness product, is giving multinational companies in India a run for their money. Set in the foothills of Himalayas in Haridwar, his line of consumer products, Patanjali Ayurveda Limited, has registered phenomenal growth in herbal and health sector. Ramdev is now eyeing to foray into the textile sector.
हमारा एक ही संकल्प है कि देश का पैसा देश में रहना चाहिए और देश में की चैरिटी में लगना चाहिए और ये सब गरीब मुल्कों के लिए जरूरी है.
Observers said that Ramdev has played smart by tapping into nationalistic sentiment of the people. Ramdev has set an ambitious target of $14.9 billion in net sales for his consumer products over the next 5 years to 10 years.
A classical dancer from India's northern hill town of Shimla performed at world's highest motorable road, Khardungla Pass. The initiative was aimed at paying ode to the Indian soldiers.
In a bid to inspire soldiers, classical dancer Shruti Gupta, a two-time Limca Book of World Records holder, recently performed at an altitude of 18,380 feet. She performed Kathakali dance for 20 minutes continuously at a temperature of -75 Fahrenheit. Gupta performed at the Khardungla Pass, the world's highest motorable road on the Indo-China border, in presence of Indo-Tibetan border police.
Indian Navy sailing vessel Mazar-i-Sharif with an all-women crew was flagged off from India's Western Goa province to Cape Town, South Africa. The boat will participate in the Cape to Rio race, which will start on December 26th.
An all-women crew of the Indian Navy set off for the Cape to Rio Yacht Race 2017 from India's Western Goa province. The team was flagged off on Indian Navy's sailing vessel Mazar-i-Sharif for the race that is scheduled to start on December 26 from Cape Town, South Africa to Rio de Janeiro. The Navy's first all-women team under Lieutenant Commander Vartika Joshi crewed the Mazar-i-Sharif for the first time earlier this year. The team travelled to the southern port city of Visakhapatnam for the International Fleet Review. In May, the team also made a trip to Mauritius under Joshi's command. The all-women crew took off for Cape Town after a flag-hoisting ceremony at the INS Mandovi naval base of the province, which was attended by several Navy officials. The team will be joined at Cape Town by Captain Atul Sinha, who will lead a mixed crew of men and women in the championship. The return trip would have separate sets of crew.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. India-Japan signed landmark civil nuclear deal. Taliban attacks German consulate in Afghanistan, 4 killed. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.